Hello, my name is Celena, last name Ponce. This is my sign name. I'm the director of Hands United, and I wanted to introduce our driver's ed program and explain a little bit about what it'll look like, what our approach is. Our approach is a little bit different than most driver's ed programs. We will have three parts. The first part is pre-driver's ed, and this will focus on making sure that you understand everything for the permit test. Then we'll go into the actual driver's ed, and this will have both a virtual portion where we explain all of the rules and then a driving portion. We also will have parent workshops for parents who have deaf children who are under the age of 18 to be able to support their deaf child in driving, to know how to communicate, and to know what to do. This third part is required for parents who have kids under the age of 18. Our class has 7 topics. The first topic is Introduction to Driving and Road Safety, then Road Signs and Symbols, then Traffic Lights and Pavement Markings, Safe Driving Basics, Sharing the Road, like with bicyclists or trucks, what do you do? Drugs and alcohol, and then finally covering the practical knowledge for the test. The class itself might be fast or slow depending on the individual student and their overall level and comprehension. The plan is to have 10 weeks of classes for 1 hour a week. We will start with the whole group together, discussing all of the things that every permit test has to have. There is a national requirement for permit tests and a list of what's required that's common throughout the nation. And that's what we're going to cover first. After that, we're going to divide into state groups to discuss what the rules are in their specific state. In terms of parents with kids under the age of 18, what are their responsibilities? We always want our parents to be involved in the education of their deaf and hard of hearing youth. For the permit portion, we'll be having workshops every 2 weeks to discuss what your student is learning in class. The parents will also need to make sure that during the class, the student is able to be on a laptop or an iPad and in an area where they're able to pay attention. When the class is finished, the parents will collaborate and support the child practicing their skills. We will be giving you materials and resources for you to be able to practice with, no matter what your sign skill is, no matter what your student's reading or writing level of English is. We will make sure that what we are giving is accessible for you and for the family to be able to communicate. For this program, the deaf or hard of hearing person needs to be above the age of 15. They need to have internet and a laptop or an iPad. Can't use a phone for the classes. It's too small. You won't be able to see well. If your family doesn't have good internet or doesn't have a laptop, that's fine. We will help you find laptops that are affordable as well as low-cost internet. First, we'll be doing a language screening with your deaf child to make sure that the language is at an appropriate level. When we talk about language, we think of 3 different groups for the deaf community. We have kids who are normative functioning and normative language, meaning that their language is equivalent to their hearing peers. Then we have students who are normative functioning in low language, meaning that they don't have any cognitive impairment, but they may have language deprivation or other issues. Then we have those who are low functioning in low language, sometimes called deaf plus, or being deaf with an additional disability. Our driver's ed program currently is focused on the 2 programs of normative functioning. We don't have support for low functioning yet, but we do plan to have something for them in the future. In terms of attendance, students are required to go to the classes. Of course, we understand emergencies may happen, and if an emergency does happen, please let us know, either the student letting us know or the parents letting us know. If the student misses class, they are able to watch recordings. It will be taught in ASL with a deaf instructor, and we will have recordings. The parents do need to go to the parent workshops to be able to learn just the same as the student. The workshops for the parents will be in English or Spanish or another language if the family needs another language. If the parents just don't go to the class, the students just don't go to the class, they don't let us know anything, we will remove you from the class and we will not refund you. The class cost for parents and families who are in our program, meaning they take ASL classes with us, they go to tutoring with us, they do social group with us for their deaf youth, it'll be $50 for the 10 weeks. If you're not involved in our program, it'll be $70 for the 10 weeks, depending on what your family situation is. We do understand that every person has their own learning pace, and that's varied depending on whether they're able to learn fast or slow. After the 10 weeks, can we guarantee that your student is going to pass? No, we cannot. We know that sometimes students are able to pick up quickly and sometimes they're more slow in their acquisition, and that's fine. We will continue to support them after the 10 weeks if they're not yet ready to take the test. That'll either be in a one-on-one situation or a group depending on your situation. If after watching this presentation you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I do want to participate in this program, the next steps would be to contact me for setting up a time for the language screening. That language screening will be with Myra, who is our deaf instructor. After the screening, if Myra says yes, this is a good fit for your child, she will let me know, and then I will send you information about how to pay, the Zoom link, all of that sort of information. If the $50 or $70 is not something your family can do all at once, that's fine. We can set up a payment plan. We will discuss that with each family individually depending on their situation. So now we've discussed the pre-driver's ed and the parent workshops. Now actual driver's ed. What is our plan? If your student already has a permit on their own or takes our classes and is able to get their permit, then they'll be able to move on to our next piece. We will have virtual driver's ed for all of the states that are not gray. So the green states, the red states, the white states, the blue states. If your state is gray, we will collaborate with you to figure out how we can still offer driver's ed that will match your state. For the virtual portion, it'll be pretty much the same as the permit portion, but for the actual behind the wheel portion, we will collaborate with local driver's eds. We will train their instructors on how to drive with deaf individual, how to communicate, how to signal, how to sign, things of that sort. And then we will let you know that that person is ready, that organization is ready to help your child for the behind the wheel portion. That program is not something that we can control how much it will cost. It will depend on their individual system, but we will try to collaborate with these organizations to make sure that they have a cost that is reasonable for you. We will also have a parent portion for that driver's ed class, exactly the same as with the permit class, where we're teaching the parents what your student has already learned during class. So that's pretty much it. If you've watched this presentation and you have other questions, please feel free to reach out to me, either through text, through calling me, or through email, and I can explain more. Thank you so much. Take care.